All right, welcome back for another episode of Luminary Leaders Live. My name is Shelly Harrison, and I'm your host. I am the CEO and founder of Luminary Leaders. We are a speaker management company that works with speakers, authors, and entertainers across the country. So I'm excited today because we have another guest that I'll be interviewing, and you'll meet her in just a moment, Natasha E Davis. First, I want to let you know we are working on a golf tournament, and it's going to be here in California. So sorry for those folks that are not in California. It's going to be at Pechanga in Temecula, and we have former NFL alumni coming to the golf tournament. Andre Reed from the Buffalo Bills. We have Christian Okoye, the Nigerian Nightmare. Just the list goes on and on and on. Walter Thurman, Super Bowl champ. And this is a golf day that's going to be June 14th with the Veterans Chamber of Commerce. So, and also powered by my good friend, Bruce Long, and he is the owner of Perfecto Coffee. So we're excited for the event. And if you want more details, shoot me a text or an email, and you'll see it on my LinkedIn profile where you can get a hold of me, and then we can definitely talk about that. But again, I want to get back to Luminary Leaders Live, and with my amazing guest, you're going to find out how accredited she is with all the things that she's done with her background and training and things that she's done in her career. Natasha E Davis, who is the chief visionary of Impact Branding Consulting. So Natasha, welcome to the show.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Shelly. It's really exciting to be here. And thank you for allowing me the opportunity just to share a couple golden nuggets with your listeners and followers. I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, I am too. And I love that you said golden nuggets, because you notice we have gold all around us, right? So you were determined to do that, destined to do that.
Yes, destined.
Yes, exactly. And, I just have to say, Natasha, when I went to your website, when I first, found out about you, I was just so impressed with the way that you've developed your company, the things that you're doing for, in the healthcare industry and other industries with branding and the team that you've developed. So tell us a little bit, a little bit. That was a tongue twister.
It's a Wednesday.
I know, right? Yeah, Wednesday. And I know you're coming to us from Atlanta, Georgia. So I want to give a shout out to my niece, Nicole, who's out there in Atlanta, Georgia with you, Natasha. Yeah. But I would love for you to share with us a little bit about yourself, aside from your business, maybe a little bit about yourself, and then we'll get right into your business.
Absolutely. Well, let me tell you guys a little bit about me. Natasha E Davis is just like you, hardworking, had a vision, wanted to, do something powerful in the universe with her gifts and her talents, right, guys? And so I started my profession as a registered nurse, did emergency nursing and trauma nursing, and I knew I was going to be a nurse like out of the womb. I was going.
Gosh,
that is what I was doing.
Really.
Mm-hmm. Wow. And I knew exactly what I was going to do. And I wasn't even a good 18 years old. I was already in healthcare and going to nursing school. So immediately I knew that's what I was doing. Well, while I was practicing in nursing, the entrepreneurship bug jumped up and bit me about 6 or 7 years into nursing. And just like anyone else, I tried to shake it off, and I'm thinking, yeah, ridiculous. You're a nurse. That's what you went to school for. And I did. I fought it for about a good 2 years before I realized, all right, this is what's happening. And the pivotal moment was I dipped my toe, is what I call, I dipped my toe into entrepreneurship. And when I did that, I got, oh my God, I loved it. Loved every minute of it. I was like, this is me. I've reached my calling. I am found, right? And I again, like I said, I dipped my toe into entrepreneurship. So I was still working as a registered nurse. And then when I step out into business, I never disclosed that I was a nurse, because I didn't think that the business market would receive me. They wouldn't take me seriously.
Really?
Well, yeah, because as a registered nurse, I'm working at the bedside, and though I was respected as a nurse, but how does the nurse understand business and strategy and performance improvement? And
Yeah.
so I did not disclose that. I hid that for many, many years. And I remember I was about 4 or 5 years into, entrepreneurship, and I was still doing bedside nursing. So now I'm about 10, 12 years into nursing. And I
Mm.
reached this moment. I left work. I did 12-hour shifts, and I left work and I was in my car ending my shift. And I just felt like this heavy weight on me. I just cried. I
Oh.
cried and I cried and I cried. And I felt so disconnected and out of place because I was
Mm.
no longer wanting to do bedside nursing. I felt guilty about not
Mm.
wanting that anymore, but I was so hungry and wanting to stay in the business realm. But I also
Mm.
felt like I wasn't fully equipped or ready. I felt
Mm.
very disconnected. And it was at that point, like a blubbering baby. I'm in the car. Oh
Oh,
my God, this is crazy.
yeah.
And what have you done? And so at that point, I realized that my journey as a registered nurse had come to an end, and it was time for me to go ahead and
Gosh.
step across into this other world, this other dimension. And so it
Yeah.
was at that moment where I accepted my time where I was saving lives has come to an end. It's time for me to step out and
Mm.
save businesses. And so that's
Yeah.
the day I fully embraced it. And I went 100% into business and went back to school, got my master's in business because I really wanted to understand what I
Congratulations.
was doing. Thank you.
Yeah, I
And
mean, that's an accomplishment.
it really
Absolutely.
was. Because I self-taught a lot of things, in
Yeah.
business and the areas I love. And it was prior to getting my degree, my master's in business, that I realized there was a difference between branding and marketing. At the time,
Mm.
I didn't realize because I was self-taught. I mean, I have books and resources and courses and everything that I went to.
Yeah.
And it was at that point where I realized, something. And let me stop by saying, I'm not going to say to anyone, you have to go to school and get a master's in business to be an efficient CEO or business owner. It was for me. That's just how my brain
That's the
works.
path you
Yeah,
chose.
that's the path
Right.
I chose.
Right.
I know a bunch of other business owners who are phenomenal at what they do. And you know what? They don't have the masters and they don't
Yeah,
have the PhDs and all that good stuff.
that's
So
right. There's a lot of successful
very
people.
much
Yeah,
those
you're
that I
right.
respect, of those that I respect. So
Mhm.
I don't want it to sound like in order for me to have been a successful business person is because I went to MBA school. Because truth be told, going to MBA school did not teach me how to be a business owner.
Yeah, that's what I hear, because really don't you think it really boils down to, once you get your master's degree or while you're in in that process,
Yeah.
hands-on experience and just,
Mhm.
walking through those
Yes.
tunnels of, oh my
Yes.
gosh, this business, obviously you were drawn to entrepreneurship
Okay.
and, and I look back, I mean, and I'll just say this really quickly because it's about you, but I want to share this quick story. When I was in the banking industry, in the corporate world and kind of like your nursing, where you were a nurse for, X amount of years.
Yeah.
And I soon realized, I thought, you know what, I'm not happy doing this anymore. And,
Yeah.
circumstances changed and people say, how did you go from banking to
To this.
representing speakers?
Right.
And by the way, I'm not a speaker. I don't like getting up in front of groups. I mean, I enjoy sometimes, but that's not my main role.
Right.
So I can relate, when it comes to, that shift that you made and,
Yes.
entrepreneurship was the track, but back to you,
Yes,
Natasha.
yes, yes. So making that transition was my pathway because truth be told, as a nurse, I was not taught how to run a business, operate a business. You weren't taught business acumen, business language. And so for me, I had to break a lot of, I had to not even break bad habits, but I had to create a new knowledge base. And so that was the pathway I
Yeah.
chose. And so here I am 17 plus years later in business. I have been blessed to, this is my third company that I've owned.
Really?
Yes, it's my third company that I've owned.
Okay.
And excuse me, we're live. So of course that's when I have to start choking. So guys, give me a minute. Let me wet my throat here.
Take a little bit of water
Let me
there.
wet my throat. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
So this is my third company. Really blessed to do that. I've been able to publish 3 books. 2 of my books have been featured in 4 countries. Really excited about that. And Impact Branding today, we serve clients across 15 plus states and in 3 countries. And so
Gosh.
one of the things that I'm really excited about, and why I'm so happy to be able to share this moment here today with Luminary Leaders Live, is giving individuals the simplistic way in order to scale whatever it is they're doing, and also to create a
Yes.
platform
Yeah.
of possibilities. And I am a platform of possibility. Like, honestly, I have been blessed to be awarded as the fastest home office business. I have been blessed to be featured on Infusionsoft Keep, as I have
Wow.
a grit. Really honored. I've been featured.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. And that's not, when I look at what you've accomplished, Natasha, I mean, I'm really blown away, because going from nursing, going into entrepreneurship and what you've created, it's not an easy road, and it sounds like you really embrace the process. And I would really like to know, what was it that shifted for you during that time, in the car when, I felt bad. You said you were crying, and believe me, I'm sure there's other entrepreneurs out there that had the same revelation. But what was it that had, helped you to make that shift? And did you envision what you have today and what you've accomplished when you were in the car at that time?
That is such a great question. Let me tell you, I had no idea what was in store for me. I just knew I was destined to do something higher on this universe. I
Yeah.
knew that I was destined to do a lot more. And believe me, I still have the heart of a nurse. I love nursing. I respect my
Yeah.
nurses. I'm still friends with my nurses and my doctors and
Oh,
stuff.
of
And
course.
and let me
Yeah.
tell y'all, I promise you, if you fall out in front of me, I could still drop an IV in you, and I can still
Oh,
take care of you. So
I love
I,
it. I love it. Well, you're
though
never
I
going to
know,
forget, right?
I'll never forget, because I'm a nurse at heart, and so
Yeah.
therefore I never lost my skill. However, the thing that pivotal moment that struck me was when I realized it is time. It's time for me to shift. It's time for me to raise the bar on my talents, because I have so
Wow.
many gifts and so many talents, and there was no need for me to leave it suffocating in that box. And
Mhm.
so once I accepted the fact that, you know what, you've made your mark, you've done what you needed to do. I had a phenomenal career in nursing. I was one of the youngest emergency room nurses
Wow.
running traumas. I did travel nursing. I had an amazing clinical nursing experience. I had the opportunity
Yeah.
to also be an educator in nursing. I taught in schools to teach new nurses, our student nurses, how to
Yes.
be nurses. So I had a phenomenal clinical nursing career, and I would not trade it for the world, because it was that
Yeah.
experience, that journey made me and continues to make me the businesswoman that I am today. When I stepped into entrepreneurship, the first 4 years was absolute hell. I didn't know what I was doing, because I was still thinking like an employee. I was still thinking
Yeah.
like a nurse. I'll tell you a funny story is when I sat there and I realized, hey guys, I'm waiting for people to come, because I put my
Oh,
website up and I got my social media up. And that's when we had
yeah.
phones on the desk. And I'm like waiting for the phone to ring, and the phone never rang.
Yeah.
And did I
Oh
pay the
my
bill?
gosh.
Did I pay the bill? So
Wow.
I will say that I learned very quickly to understand business acumen, to understand business principles,
Yeah.
how to transition from being a solopreneur to being an actual entrepreneur, to shifting into being a business owner and being a CEO, because there
Mm.
was a journey and a pathway that I had to take, and all of us take when we start, right? And so
That's right.
my
Yeah.
first day as a entrepreneur, I was really a solopreneur, and then I fast forward, I became an entrepreneur, and then I understand how to be a visionary, and then I grew up into being a business owner, and now, bless God, I'm a CEO now, so I'm really loving it. And that's what I love doing. I like to help individuals, those business owners who feel that there's more to me than where I am. I remember when I was stuck, when you hit that certain
Yeah.
income threshold and that client acquisition threshold and that growth, you hit a threshold. We all hit thresholds and ceilings, and how
We
to bust
do.
through those ceilings so you can go to the next level. And that's what it's really all about, is serving people on such a higher level, taking your talents and gifts and permeating
Mhm.
the universe and the world with it.
And I love that you're saying that, because I'm hearing the nurse in you, where you have compassion for people and how to make people feel good, if you will. And when it equates to, doing the branding that you're doing now for the organizations and companies that you work with, I mean, congratulations on that, because what you did is you were able to create a business, third business by, obviously you've had two other businesses prior to this one. But just the accomplishments, Natasha, like I said, I'm very impressed with your background. And, I would love for the audience to know, or for our audience to know, what is a day in the life of Natasha with your impact branding consulting?
Oh, Lord. It's a busy
day. Did I hit a nerve?
It's a busy day. So a day in the life of Natasha Davis and impact branding is making sure that our clients are serviced in excellence. Honestly, like we look at, I'm a very project oriented individual. I'm big on metrics. I'm big on numbers. I'm big on deadlines and timelines. I'm very intentional. And so I'm also big on pulling myself away from day-to-day operations so I can look at the bigger picture. That's a huge thing.
At 50,000 foot level.
Yeah, definitely. Trying to look down and say, okay, how can we make this better? And so what I do, I can tell you, we get our day started. I look at all of our clients right now, and we look at open projects, current projects, who needs what, who's on first, who's on second, what's pending. And there's a particular thing that I do where we look at, we as a team, my team, and I look at our clients and I say, okay, where are we underperforming? And I always stop and I say, where's our underperformance? Are we serving our clients in excellence? Where did we drop the ball? I would rather know that we caught that ball in-house opposed to our clients seeing it, say, hey, you didn't do this, you didn't do that, I didn't get that, because that just doesn't make for a healthy, happy working relationship. So each week we step back and I say, okay, I do an assessment on every client, say, okay, where are we underperforming? What part of the service has not been delivered?
And you do this weekly with each client? That is such a great tip. It really is. Performing.
And we have to be able to step back, and we're humans. And that's the whole thing. We're all human beings, and life happens. And so I don't care how big your company is or how modest it is. It doesn't matter. Sometimes things slip through the cracks. You want to catch it before it hits the floor all the way, right? So if you can intentionally step back and say, where are we underperforming with the service delivery for our clients? What did we not achieve? Now we can catch it and we can keep up and things of that nature as well. Very time management is big to me. Because we cannot afford to waste the day. I believe that every hour of a business day is a revenue producing hour. And that's how we function. If it's a revenue producing, we don't waste time. And that time we plug what client needs to be taken care of. So this is this client's hour. This is that client's hour, this project, and things of that nature. So
that is great information for our audience, because you've just given, talk about golden nuggets. You've dropped several of them. And I really appreciate that, Natasha, because, you have that background and that drive that people, that are tuning in now, or they're watching the replay, if you're starting your own business, if those of you that are watching and you're kind of stuck, or you're at a point, I really want you to rewind this and watch the beginning just to hear what Natasha had to say, because there are so many golden nuggets that she dropped in terms of, owning a business and entrepreneurship, and, the phone not even ringing when she first started her business. And that's a scary thought, when you think about it, you've got your website, you've got all these things, but that kind of going back to branding, branding is not just a website, business card, and all of that. It's all those other things, that are important. Oh, absolutely. And, Natasha, we're coming to the end of our broadcast, but I wanted to ask you one last question.
Sure. All
that you've done already. And it's like, what's next for you?
Right? That cat, I can't let all the cats out the bag. I can release some of the things that's just really exciting. Just a little nugget. Okay, well, I recently in January released the third book, 25 Valuable Golden Nuggets to Start, stabilize and scale any business. So that's what we just completed, and we're on our campaign with that. So that's important. And also, I developed a software called the Profit Enhancer Analysis, and it's a predictive model software for consultants to use. And so that is released. We actually launched it last month. I'm really excited about that. So we're neck deep in that as well. So that's where we are.
And where can people find these resources? Number one, your book, because we've talked about golden nuggets, and just to know that there are 25 of them in your book, but also the program that you've created. Where can they find this?
So the book is easily found on Amazon, and so you can go on Amazon, and if you just put my name in, Natasha E Davis, it'll show you books by Natasha Davis. It'll pop up and you'll see me there. And for those that want to see information about the software, you actually go directly to the software. It's Profit Enhancer Analysis, so .com, profitenhanceranalysis.com, and that's where you can find those extra resources. But Shelly, I appreciate you so much for sharing me with your audience. And I hope it's been valuable to many. Thank you so much.
Oh, I mean, it was very valuable. And I'm going to go back and watch this again and take notes, because I mean, you really gave some great information and insight for businesses, Natasha. So thank you for that. And I want to thank you for being here and giving your greatness. And I want to thank our audience for tuning in. And one last plug I want to give to Connected Women of Influence. We are a director level sponsor for Connected Women of Influence, which is a national women's organization for professional women across the country. And if you want to learn more, go to connectedwomenofinfluence.com. So that's our show today. And thank you for tuning in to Luminary Leaders Live. And Natasha, you've been a rock star today. So thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Take care, everyone.